Okay, so let's continue with the next part. So multiplication of vectors by real numbers. So when we multiply a vector by a scalar quantity or a real number, it is not very different. So basically, if there is a vector a bar and I multiply it by 2, so basically the magnitude gets multiplied by 2 and the direction remains same. And what happens if there is a b bar and I divide it by 5? The same thing happens. The magnitude gets divided by 5, whereas the direction remains same. So here is an example. So there is a vector a bar, and when I multiply it by 2, can you see the length is doubled, but the direction remains same. When we divide it, the same thing will happen. But when we multiply it with a negative number, so what happens is basically the direction also changes. So if a is multiplied by -1, we get minus a bar. And if it is multiplied by minus 1.5, the direction also changes and the magnitude is multiplied by 1.5 times. So whenever we have a scalar multiplication with a vector, we see what exactly has happened. The diagram, I guess, is very self-explanatory in this case. So I guess this point is clear. Moving on, addition and subtraction of vectors, and the first method is the graphical method. So as you can see in this diagram, there is a bar which is in this direction and there is a b bar which is in kind of downward direction. So what we have done is we have taken the tails of a bar as the origin and we have just shifted this here. Okay, the same thing we have done with b bar. We have shifted b bar parallelly and we have joined it with the head of a bar. So this point is called the tail and the arrow is called the head. So we have joined the head of a bar with the tail of b bar. And now when we so basically this is what we are having once we are done with the first two steps. So now when I join the tail of the first vector with the head of the second vector, and this vector so formed is called as the resultant of the two vectors. So that is how we do addition. So addition of a bar and b bar is the closing side of the triangle. So if a bar is this, b bar is this, we place it in this particular manner only, where the first vector ka head is connected to second vector ka tail, and then the first vector ka tail connecting with the second vector ka head is the resultant. The resultant is nothing but in this case a bar plus b bar. Perfect. So what if I want a bar minus b bar? So what I'm going to do is observe this diagram carefully. They have just done addition only in this case. So right now we'll talk only about the addition. So addition is done in this way. And in this case, now in the C part. So basically, again, is the same thing. If we want to do B bar plus A bar. So basically what we are going to do is we are going to put B bar like this. And then we are going to connect the tail of B bar, A bar with the head of B bar. And then the tail of B bar with the head of A bar. So this becomes the resultant. So this is B bar plus A bar, but actually when you observe this final blue color line, you can see that both are parallel and both will have the same magnitude because they are having the same length. So we can say that A bar plus B bar is equal to B bar plus A bar in vectors also. So vectors do follow the commutative law. Commutative law says that first quantity plus second quantity should be equal to second quantity plus first quantity. So that is commutative law of addition. Now, so this is already explained. Again with the third vector, it will be the same thing. So suppose there is a third vector. So we do the same. First we do for the first one, then the tail of second with the head of first, then the tail of third with the head of second, and finally the tail of first and the head of the last. So this would be a bar plus b bar plus c bar. So this is the diagram I'm talking about. Let's not mix a lot of diagrams as they have. So I was talking about these three vectors a bar, b bar, and c bar. And when I join the first with the last in this way, so this would be a bar plus b bar plus c bar. If I join this and this, it would be a bar plus b bar. Perfect. So this is how it is. And this I've already told you a bar plus b bar plus c bar. So we'll just stick to this only. Let's not confuse things. Moving on. So this we've already discussed. Now we have told something about a null vector. So null vector is basically a zero vector. Now if we think about it from a layman point of view, we can say that a zero vector cannot exist, correct? Because if there is no magnitude only, then it is not present only. So how can we say there is a zero vector? So in order to prove that a zero vector or a null vector exists, what we do is we take help of subtraction of vectors. So a bar is subtracted with itself. What we are left with is nothing, which is zero. But a vector when subtracted by a vector will always be a vector. So from that perspective, a bar minus a bar has to be a vector which is 0 bar. Obviously, magnitude of null vector has to be 0 and the direction cannot be specified. So obviously it's a special case, no doubt, but it still does exist. Moving on. So they have just told you what happens when you add something with zero vector, you get the same thing. If you multiply a scalar quantity with zero vector, we are left with zero vector. And obviously, if you multiply a magnitude zero from into some vector, then you get a zero vector. Okay, because multiplication of scalar and vector is a vector. So if you multiply a scalar 0 with a vector a bar, the answer is not 0 but 0 bar, because it will be a vector quantity. So all these things are very important when we come across MCQs. Okay, so sometimes in exams they will ask you this and you will be stunned because you have not done the basics correct. So all the basics are very important. That zero vector is a very favorite and a very important question, we can say, especially from MCQ point of view. So study this null vector properly. Null vector का magnitude क्या होता है? Zero होता है. उसका direction क्या होता है? वो हम बता नहीं सकते. और null vector exist करेगा, ये कैसे proof करोगे? तो एक vector को खुद से subtract कर दो तो आंसर मिलेगा 0. लेकिन अगर एक वेक्टर को दूसरे वेक्टर से सब्ट्रैक्ट किया तो वेक्टर्स का रूल बोलता है कि जो आंसर आएगा वो भी वेक्टर होना चाहिए. इसीलिए ये जो 0 मिला है वो 0 वेक्टर है, 0 स्केलर नहीं है. अभी उसने 3 नीचे प्रॉपर्टीज लिखा है कि अगर किसी वेक्टर को 0 वेक्टर के साथ ऐड किया तो वो वेक्टर खुद बचेगा. ये सिंपल था. अगर किसी 0 वेक्टर को स्केलर से मल्टीप्लाई किया तो आंसर 0 वेक्टर ही बचेगा, क्योंकि ऑब्वियसली मल्टीप्लिकेशन ऑफ स्केलर विद वेक्टर इज अ वेक्टर. और अगर 0 को किसी वेक्टर से मल्टीप्लाई किया, 0 स्केलर को किसी वेक्टर से मल्टीप्लाई किया तो आंसर मिलेगा 0 वेक्टर. So okay, so that's it about this particular topic. Subtraction is very easy. See, I'll just show you from this. So if this is A and ये B है तो हमें पता है कि ये जो है वो A बार प्लस B बार होता है. तो अब हम क्या करेंगे, A को एज इट इज रहने देंगे. ये जो B बनाया था उसका उल्टा बनाएंगे, ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन सेम मैग्नीट्यूड. तो ये एक्चुअली माइनस B बार हो जाएगा और ये दोनों को ऐड करने पे मुझे मिलेगा A बार प्लस माइनस B बार विच इज A बार माइनस B बार. तो एक्चुअली देखा जाए तो सब्ट्रैक्शन ऑफ वेक्टर्स हमने किया ही नहीं, हमने किया है एडिशन ही, बट सिर्फ हमने नेगेटिव वेक्टर के साथ उसे ऐड किया. तो अगर आपको A बार दिया है B बार दिया है और ग्राफिकल मेथड से दोनों का सब्ट्रैक्शन बताना है तो आप क्या करेंगे, B बार का ऑपोजिट वेक्टर ले लेंगे और उसे माइनस B बार बुलाएंगे और फिर A बार और माइनस B बार को ऐड कर देंगे. Okay, so that's it till subtraction of vectors. Parallelogram method हम next वीडियो में देखेंगे.